What is up, everyone? Oh, gee willikers. There's so much. I know the answer. That's a rhetorical question. What is up? I get the vibe. Some people are stoked. Some people are scared. Um, Loving, intelligent people on both sides. Friends of mine who are good, loving, intelligent people. With radically opposing choices, and yet some common denominator about like what we want: freedom, um, democracy, um, health, and peace, um, stewardship, responsibility, all of these things. We all want the same thing, and it's just we're so unique, and it's such a complex system. There's so many complexities and considerations and factors and personal stories and traumas and fears and desires and all of this. So many things at play. And yet there's a common denominator. There's always a common denominator. And that's the trick, is to focus on that, focus on building bridges of understanding between people with radically opposing beliefs or ideas. Find the common denominator. Just if there's nothing else, like look for that, find that, speak to that. Feel what you feel. It matters, and we care. I care, and it matters, and I care, and I really care, and I don't care. And I do care so much more than anyone, and I don't. And it's like holding those two things. The part of me that cares is the part of me that's Jeff, that's human, that's alive on Earth and playing this beautiful game on Earth as Jeff on Earth. And I care, and I'm gonna play, and I'm gonna choose, and I'm gonna do my best, and I have a moral and ethical compass, and I'm doing my best to live true to that, even though I still like make mistakes I still, yeah, whatever, I'm still learning. I still have opportunities to grow, but I'm doing my best, and that's like kind of all I can do. And I care, and I'm Jeff. And at the other side of the spectrum is the oneness, the non-duality lens, which I'm privileged and grateful to have that lens, because I've had so many experiences of the ultimate truth of oneness and eternity. And through that lens, through the lens of eternity, it's like everything's constantly changing and birthing and dying forever. And through that lens of forever, it's like, well, if it's always changing, this too shall pass. It's all necessary. It's all part of the play, the back and forth, this and that, black. It's the oneness that is made up of the duality. It's the whole that's made up of the two. It's the one made of the two, made of the infinitely complex Mandelbrot fractal geometry there, and so it's holding those two. I care, and it matters, and on the other side, it doesn't matter, through the lens of eternity and through the lens of trust and through the lens of oneness. Because through the lens of oneness, there's just one, and there's no other. There's no right or wrong. There is no more duality. There's no more separation. It's just oneness, wholeness. It's hard to explain. It's impossible to explain, actually. It can, in my opinion, it can only be experienced for oneself firsthand. It can, there can be a theoretical idea or feeling around it. Lots of books and religions and philosophy that tries to articulate the ineffable, but ultimately it can only be experienced. This oneness thing I'm talking about, this is a big part of our culture that's been lost from our indigenous ancestors, because we all come from we all have ancestors that go all the way back to the beginning of human history, and so we all come from that um, deep connection to the earth, and hunter-gatherers and ceremony and community and prayer and ritual and mystery and rites of passage. These are our roots, and it's what we're lacking in a big way in our culture, is that understanding of the mystery, or at least pondering the mystery, or cultivating a sense of mystery, or of the sacred, or the divine, or the one. Anyways, that's something I think we could work on together. I know a lot of people who voted for both sides of this particular situation, and a lot of people are in agreement around the practical and more spiritual, mysterious value of psychedelics and altered states of consciousness, and ceremony, and communing with plants and the earth, mushrooms and amphibians and whatever, the earth, what is natural and free and good, and there's so much wisdom there. And so psychedelics came up on several ballots. I know in my home state of Massachusetts it did not pass, which is what it is. It takes as long as it takes. But the opportunities, no, there's many opportunities, of course, but one of which is for us to learn how to communicate more effectively with one another, learn how to listen to one another, how to gather together and listen to one another. That's how we build those bridges, and that's at the root of like war and suffering and fear, is like this fear of the other, this, that, I'm right, they're wrong, I need power, they need to be suppressed. It's all of these, it all stems from fear of the other. And if we can learn how to understand and love the other, quote unquote, the other, or even to realize that there is no other, ideally. Yes, there's an illusion of the other in this game we're playing, and it's an illusion of another. To actually have reference points to understand that can lead to more peaceful and harmonious cultures. And again, I'm saying one of the main things I've found that can contribute to that understanding of oneness, seeing beyond the illusion of separation, seeing that they are me and I am them. Oh, okay. Wow. Oh, I love you. I'm sorry. Wow. Oh my gosh. A lot of you have experienced this. So get curious. I don't know. Support one another. Try to be patient and be kind, especially when it's hardest and when we get triggered. Just taking a moment, taking a breath, trying to tap into that, oh, I am them, they are me, we're one, we're in this together. Even if you don't have that lens of, oh, we are literally oneness, at least you can also look at it from like being up on the moon, looking down on the earth and seeing that we're all on this planet. And that's one thing that unites us, is we're all here now, sharing this floating orb of beauty and matter and water and earth and air and fire, and we're here together. At the very least, we are one united on this planet. And if that's all you can do, is that's the best you can do, that's enough to recognize, hey, okay, we're in this together. And I think you will find that when we choose to react to anger and tension and violence and fear with the opposite, which is, okay, like calmness, compassion, even if I don't agree with them, just having like some semblance of like compassion or understanding, like, okay, this person's got some pretty wacky beliefs and values and ideas, but you know, it's not their fault, and they're just a conglomeration of all their experiences and their relationships from the time they were born, or maybe even, you know, from other lifetimes, who knows. We can meet people with a little bit more compassion if we just realize that, you know, it's not their fault that they might be hateful or confused or whatever. And if I can meet that with compassion and love and understanding, then actually it can shift the whole dynamic. I see it all the time. And that's the dance, that's the art, is how do we meet the darkness with light, for lack of you know, a better example. I think actually it is a good example. Both are necessary to make the whole, to make the one. How do we create oneness despite, you know, between the two? How do we create the cohesion, the adhesive, the glue between the two to make the one? All right, dang, 11 minutes. I wonder how I'll share this, or if I'll share this, but those are my thoughts. Those are my feelings for now. There's so much more, obviously. It's infinitely complex. But I find that simplifying things, you know, we could focus on, oh, well, what about this thing, and what about that thing, and well, these people are going to be affected this way, and those people are going to be affected that way, and it's this and them, and then the complexity of it, it's just like sucks us into tunnel vision. But if we can focus on the simplicity, the oneness of it, it just gets rid of a lot of the unnecessary, or not unnecessary, but the distracting, the blinding complexity of the whole situation. Yeah, it can be avoided by zooming out and seeing the whole and keeping things simple rather than super complex. Okay, thanks for listening, for those who listened. And really, I trust it. I trust eternity. I trust life. I trust whatever, God, the divine, the one, myself. You know, that's a daily practice, is like trusting myself and realizing that myself is everything else, that I am that, or whatever, and that you are that, and that Donald Trump is that, and Kamala Harris is that, and that everything is that. And if you're curious about that, to know that for yourself in a more intimate, contextual, practical, felt, integrated way, do some research on psychedelics. You know, it might not be right for you. You have to decide for yourself. But plant medicine, psychedelics, indigenous practices and ceremonies, whether it's Wixárika or Huichol with peyote, or the Oaxacan culture of psilocybin, of the mushroom, the sacred mushroom, or the Peruvian, Amazonian, Colombian, Ecuadorian practice with ayahuasca and plant medicines, healing medicines, or the San Pedro of the Andes, the high mountains, or whatever culture and medicine, or, you know, the Native American sweat lodge. And there's so many ways and opportunities to get back to it, to find our way back to the one. And it involves each other. It involves relationship with the non-human, with the earth, with the animals, with the elements, everything. Recognizing everything as one. We're all here together, seeing that way. Practice, practice. Okay, I'm out. Love you. For reals. Peace.